Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and always go beyond. I'm your host. I'm Renee. We have a very interested and enthusiastic co host with us, and that's Raina. She is just here for the treats, but she's here. That's the important thing. So, today is Tag Tuesday, so we're going to do a tag. And first, before we even get started with that, gotta give my girl a treat because she's sitting there licking her lips and all ready to go. There you go, sweetheart. Okay, so this tag that I'm going to do today is called the Beauty in Books tag. I was tagged by Stuart at Stuart Griffin, and this tag was created by Ruben at To Readers It May Concern, and Emily at the Linguistics Library. So here are the prompts. Let's get started. The first one is beauty in concept. So for that, I chose the book To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. The concept that I'm thinking of specifically is the concept of empathy. And I think that Atticus Finch personifies that. One of his most famous quotes in the book is, first of all, if you learn a simple trick, Scout, you'll get along a lot better with all kinds of folks. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. And that, everyone always quotes that because, it's a great quote. And a great way to think of it. You're walking in someone else's shoes, in someone else's skin, and think of it from their point of view. And he uses it as an example of how you can get along with people. So, I think it's great. Let's face it, life's never going to be fair, but it's all about how we handle it. So, number 2 is beauty in an opening line. And for that, I do not have the book. However, the best opening line to me, it's one I'll probably never forget in my whole life. And most other people know what it is the minute you say it, and that is "Call Me Ishmael," which is the opening line in Moby Dick by Herman Melville. That's kind of been on my mind for the past couple days because the channel Paperback Journeys, I don't know the channel owner's name, but he did an awesome review of Moby Dick not too long ago, and he really talked about the good and the bad of it. So I'll post a link to that below. It really is worth taking a look at. Okay, so the next prompt is beauty in character. And for that, I chose the character of Little Bee. She is the main character in this story by Chris Cleave. This is a book from 2008, so it's a little older now, but very good, very interesting book. Despite living through some really hard times, really ugly circumstances, Little Bee remains positive throughout the whole situation, and she's just kind of one of those endearing characters that you just really love, and she's kind of unforgettable in that way. So I chose that book. So the next one is Beauty Amidst Pain. And for this, I chose a book. This is a new book. It's from 2023 rather. I'm from 2003. And it's called Enemies in the Orchard by Dana Vanderloot. And this is a book that is written in verse, which is really kind of interesting. It's about a young lady who lives with her family in Michigan during World War II, and her dad hires some German POWs to work in their family orchard during apple picking time because a lot of the young men who would have been in Michigan are over fighting the war, usually in Germany or one of the other European countries. So he has the POWs come and work. They have a program where they want to get the fruit, so they have a program where the POWs will come and do some picking. And so the young lady has some very mixed feelings about these POWs coming to her home, her father's orchard, and all of that because her brother has been killed in the war. And so, despite all of this, she ends up being charmed by one of the younger POWs, and she begins a very sweet, innocent friendship type of relationship with him. And it's a lovely story of how their friendship just kind of blossoms, despite the painful and confusing times that they live in. So, yeah, this was a different type of book, and it was good. I enjoyed it. So the next one is Beauty in Incompleteness. And for that, there you go, Raina. I mean, I think she ought to get a treat for each prompt. It's not even a whole treat. I'm kind of breaking them up, but please don't tell her that. So Beauty in Incompleteness, I'm choosing Ghost Town Living by Brent Underwood. And this is about a young man, Brent, who is living in and restoring an old mining town in California. The town is called Cerro Gordo, and it was once one of the largest and most productive mines in the U.S. But now, of course, it's a ghost town. Its heyday was in kind of, I think, the mid-1800s. And he has some really great ideas. And he's done a lot of work in the town, but there's just always more to do, more to do, more to do. I doubt that it will ever really be complete in anybody's mind. But his channel is absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to link it below. I've been watching it off and on for about 4 years now, which is really since the beginning when he actually just first got to Cerro Gordo. It was 2020. It was the year 2020. And so it's awesome to see the changes in the town and even the changes that, he goes through and his relationship with that town. Oftentimes it's just him staying up there. No running water. It can be quite the thing. And it can be very hot. It can be very cold. It's up in the mountains, so temperature changes quickly. So he has a lot of challenges. So Beauty in Place is the next prompt. And for that, I chose 2 books that I have not read, but I can't wait to get to them. Both are by Kim Haycox. One is called The Only Kayak, and the other is called Rhythm of the Wild. They both have beautiful covers, you can see. So they take place in a beautiful place, and that place is Alaska, USA. I've never been to Alaska, but I sure would like to go. So, maybe someday soon, and if so, I promise I'll take the camera and do some vlogging from there. But really, I could have said any book that takes place in the U.S. This is a beautiful country. This is my country, and I've been to several others, but this is still my favorite. So there's a lot of beauty here, and it's definitely worth exploring. So. Okay, the next one is Beauty in Time. So for that, I'm going to pick a book that I pick it every time. I pick it every time there's a tag. I find some way to work it in. That book is The Women by Kristen Hanna. I love the 60s and 70s, so this book is about the 60s and 70s mostly. So it just, all the music that's mentioned, the innocence that the people had, the friendships they shared, all that kind of thing. That's what I really like about the book. Coming of age during that time, Main character is a nurse. I mean, it's for me, you know. It's for me. So yeah, great book. I did a review of that as well, which I probably should link for you in case you missed it. So the last one is Beauty in Catharsis. And for that, I chose Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I've recommended this book to so many people since I've read it, which has really only been about a month or so. It was a really fun story, but it's also a bit sad. As Shelby Van Pelt said when I listened to her online talk, she said, "This is not a book about an octopus." She said it's a book about grief, loss, and the human condition, and it happens to have an octopus as a character. So, yeah, the story has some sadness, some kind of happy sadness to it, and it's a very interesting story. So, yeah, I've recommended it, like I say, to a lot of people, and yeah, found it enjoyable. So, now to tag others. So I am going to tag Daniela from Uncommon Reader. I'm going to tag Ellen at the Ellen Made Book Club. I'm going to tag Amy at Amy with a Y. I'm going to tag Merrick at the Book Thing and Freddie at SluggishReader. And anyone else who sees this video and thinks that you might want to do this tag. It's a pretty short one, really. It takes a little bit of thinking to think through the books you want to talk about, but otherwise, yeah, it's a great little tag. So a couple of things. I hope you saw my most recent video. It's of the Clay Festival that was here in Virginia. We had a good time there, and in the video I show some of the pottery that they had on display and for sale. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it was amazing the level of skill that people have with it. There were some demos. I have a little bit of recording from that. I showed all of the food trucks that they had and a little bit about the music that they had there and stuff. So it's a fun video if you want to take a look at that. I'll put a link to that below. And also, I finally updated my Goodreads. So if you're following me on Goodreads, you'll notice that there are some new reviews to take a look at. And yeah, I'm caught up to my September reading, so yay for me. All right, if you like my content, please be sure that you're subscribed. Give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, and if you have a comment to share, I don't know if you've read any of these books, or if you want to do this tag, or what you think of it, or if you even want to say hi to the co-host. Feel free to comment. So take care and have a wonderful Tuesday.